The president and numerous 2020 Democrats will travel to South Carolina beginning tomorrow. It's for a criminal justice reform presidential forum. 10 candidates, including Mr. Trump and former Vice President Joe Biden, are expected to attend. The three-day event will take place in Columbia, South Carolina, at the historically Black Benedict College. The conference will focus on the future of criminal justice reform after the First Step Act. That bipartisan legislation passed late last year. As Emma Dumain reports for McClatchy, the event could serve as a chance for President Trump to, quote, speak publicly and substantially about the role he played in getting the bill signed into law. Let's bring in Emma Dumain as well as LaCrai Mitchell. Emma is a congressional reporter for McClatchy and has covered South Carolina politics extensively. And LaCrai is a CBS News 2020 campaign reporter. She joins me now from Charleston, South Carolina. Welcome to both of you. Emma, let me start with you. You report there was some concern President Trump's appearance at this criminal justice reform forum could alienate the other candidates from attending or participating. What were some of the concerns and who raised them?
Well, as it turns out, President Trump will not be appearing on stage or even on the same day as the other Democratic presidential contenders. Organizers have chosen to have President Trump speak on Friday in what is expected to be an hour-long speech on the First Step Act and criminal justice reform. And then the Democratic candidates who have chosen to participate will be subject to more of a question and answer session and be subject to timed remarks in succession on Saturday and Sunday. This is a change from the original programming, and this has caused some concern among students, among some of the participants, among the Benedict College community. There's even concerns about who's actually going to be invited into the room to hear President Trump deliver his remarks on Friday. The events on Saturday and Sunday are ticketed events. Anybody could buy a ticket and participate. Though Benedict College is hosting the forum, they're actually not organizing the forum. They're just providing the venue and the space. The event on Friday, we think, is going to be closed off. It is being billed not as a campaign stop, but an official White House event, meaning that the White House is controlling, probably close to half the tickets, who comes in and who comes out. So it's going to be a really interesting dynamic over the next 3 days in South Carolina to see how President Trump is received, given these dynamics, given that he gets a more controlled environment, and given that the constituency of Benedict College is pretty liberal and probably not very welcoming to the Trump administration.
To get a little bit more specific about his Friday appearance then, was that at the request of the White House or was that at the request of the venue? Do we know, you said it's going to be ticketed, but the White House is going to control the ticketing?
Yeah, so originally this event was billed as a 2020 presidential candidates forum. All of the Democratic presidential candidates were invited to participate according to a specific format, as was President Donald Trump, given that he is a 2020 candidate for president. At some point, and we don't know when and we don't know the circumstances, it appears that the president's visit became contingent upon giving him a different set of circumstances. He would no longer be participating in the forum portion. He is speaking on Friday in connection to a sort of a separate symposium that's part of this weekend of criminal justice reform debate and discussion. The symposium is being called The Conservative Case for Criminal Justice Reform. We're still not sure who the other speakers at that forum are going to be. We don't have details about who made the request at what point, but we do know that at some point the parameters were changed to allow Trump to speak in a more controlled environment.
Right. All right. So LaCrai, there is a lot of weight being put on South Carolina in this election. So how can we expect the candidates to use their time at this forum to appeal to voters there?
as you stated, there is a lot of weight. You know, South Carolina is the first place where a lot of people are looking to see how the candidates do with a Democratic electorate that's expected to be upwards of 60% African American. And so it's important because as you've seen the candidates make their rounds through this early state, criminal justice absolutely comes up on the trail. You know, you have Senator Kamala Harris, who often talks about her record as a prosecutor and what she did during that time. You had Senator Bernie Sanders unveil his criminal justice plan here back in August. And even as recent as today, he says that he's going to be spending a lot of time talking about how he plans to legalize marijuana this weekend. His team told me that that's going to be something that they're going to continue to bring up. And also you have Senator Cory Booker, who's going to talk about the role that he played with the First Step Act. You know, criminal justice here is important because, like I said, this is where a lot of people are looking to see how black voters vote. And as I talk to experts today, criminal justice continues to impact black voters, whether it's through mass incarceration and the number of African American males who fall victim to that, whether it's African American males who have been incarcerated because of dealings with marijuana. It continues to be something that strikes a nerve within the black community. And so this weekend, you will definitely hear the candidates unveiling, or not unveiling, excuse me, but they'll be going over all of their criminal justice plans in detail, step by step.
Right. And Emma, this event, of course, is taking place at the historically black Benedict College in Columbia, South Carolina. President Trump faced widespread criticism for comparing the impeachment inquiry very recently to a lynching. So are there concerns that comment could undermine his visit?
Yeah, if there wasn't already going to be protests surrounding the president's visit from Benedict College students who oppose the Trump administration and from Democrats in the area, there certainly will be now. The South Carolina Democratic Party plans to hold a press conference and demonstration adjacent to the Benedict College campus where they'll highlight, among other things, the president's comments equating the impeachment proceedings among House Democrats to a lynching. You know, the more interesting question is whether there will be outbursts from inside the room. Again, we're not sure who's going to be in the room, but if there was going to be an effort to undermine the president's remarks inside the Benedict College auditorium where Trump will be speaking, and it's only going to be around 300 people who are allowed into that space by invitation only. You know, our understanding is that there is going to be a more hospitable atmosphere for President Trump to give his remarks. So it's not guaranteed that his actual speech will be undermined or interrupted. But certainly the remarks that he made earlier this week about lynching and the impeachment proceedings, that will create a tense dynamic as he is welcomed to South Carolina.
And LaCrai, you have spoken to nearly a dozen HBCU students and alumni from schools across 4 southern states today. What have some of them been telling you about the impacts of Trump's presidency on these students, and particularly, you know, as African American students?
Absolutely. You know, I've spoken to those people and I've gotten a mixed range of opinions and feelings. Some people feel that his visit is disrespectful. Others feel like it's political and they're not surprised by this move. I think the important thing for us to remember when we're reporting about this is that HBCUs are pivotal because of the role that they play a lot of times in empowering African American students and the black communities that they're often situated in. So these HBCUs are key historically in civil rights and in criminal justice reform and all these critical issues that are important to black communities. And so as I was talking to some of the alumni and students today, you had them say, you know, while they can respect some of the things that he's done, I had one, you know, expert talk about what he did for the HBCU Capital Finance Program and how that helped some HBCUs to be able to reinvest and refinance. You had others that said even moves that he made with this First Step Act can't be forgotten that this is the same president who, you know, made public outcry about the Central Park Five, and that came up today in discussions, and the hurt that still resonates with people on that. And so I had mixed reviews, some saying it's political, some saying that him being there, you can't forget that he's still a sitting president, and that any time a sitting president comes to an HBCU, it's important because it brings a spotlight that HBCUs need. And I think, one quote from the National Urban League president, Mark Morial, today summed up some of what I heard from the alumni, and it was that I'm not going to take bipartisan criminal justice legislation away from him, but it doesn't balance out against many of the policies, particularly the judicial appointments, the lack of diversity in the cabinet and of the White House staff that deeply concern us. And he concluded saying, while we always celebrate when a president goes to a historically black college, it doesn't take away from the damage that many of his policies are causing.
Well, on that note, LaCrai Mitchell and Emma Dumain, thank you so much for joining us.